Hey, Applesauce and Baloney, Book of Boba Fett finale coming at you.
Yeah. So, apparently we come to make you an offer, and that offer is nothing. No, just kidding. It's Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett finale. We're done. We're done, folks. Thus closes another book of Boba Fett.
A chapter.
Yes.
The final chapter of Book of Boba Fett. Boy, whatever they didn't squeeze into the other 6 episodes, they got with episode 7.
Yeah, this was very very tied up with a bunch of little bows.
Yeah,
a lot of little bows.
The Rancor King Kong bow, the showdown between Boba Fett and Cad Bane.
We get Grogu doing some Force stuff. We get R2-D2 flying X-Wing.
Yeah, Pele's in there. We
got
the mod squad.
Yeah,
we got everybody, basically everything. They wrap it all up. Very interesting, first non-Mandalorian Disney Plus series dealing with a legacy character. I really enjoyed it, man. When I'm doing my high knee exercises, I call them Boba knees now.
Right.
Because we're talking deep cuts on the Boba Fett's armor. He has rocket darts in his knees,
which we've seen before. They showed us in.
Well, I know, but he was really rocking them.
Yeah.
He was really rocking them this time. We got the flamethrower.
Yeah. We got awesome jetpack action.
He rode the Rancor into Mos Espa. I mean, I knew it. Again, a lot of stuff. I guess the biggest criticism, or if I had to pick a word, for better or worse about Book of Boba Fett is pretty much as expected.
Yeah.
I think it checked all the boxes. I think, there's the trade-off. When you get, when you have to squeeze so much fan service in, a lot of it's going to be expected. It's going to be hard to make it a surprise. Not everything can be No Way Home.
Yeah.
And even that, we kind of knew what was coming. But you know what? A lot of really fun surprises. We got an entire Grogu Luke storyline in this series. I'm excited. Spoiler alert: end credit scene of episode 7. I'm excited that Cobb Vanth isn't dead. We're gonna get RoboCobb.
RoboCobb, yeah.
RoboCobb, as everybody's been saying.
I absolutely love that meme. I love that meme.
Yeah, I'll take RoboCobb. It's gonna be great. Do not kill off Timothy Oliphant that easily.
Yeah.
I mean, because I really thought, it felt to me like he was winged.
He caught him in the shoulder. So
right, but I was shocked. I really thought he was gonna come back
in the end. Yeah.
But really, that had to be Boba Fett's fight. And again, I think we talked about it one-on-one. We have to talk about it on the show. I really feel like this series could have used 2 more episodes. I wish that
ultimately
Cad Bane,
that's what we get with the 2 missing Mandalorian episodes.
I know, but 2 more episodes with Boba Fett.
Setting
we spent so much time setting up the Tusken Raiders just to kill them off. We spent time on the Hutts just to have them leave.
Yeah.
I could have used more of the Syndicate, which would have, and more Jennifer Beals at the Sanctuary. Yeah. And I could have used more. Cad Bane should have shown up a lot earlier. Yeah. I think the showdown with Cad Bane, could have happened before the Syndicate blew up the Sanctuary, right? Well, at least a few episodes earlier.
That's a lot of what I think went wrong with this, and I've heard criticism about it, is that Boba Fett doesn't really have a villain until episode 6, where Cad Bane shows up.
He is the big bad.
So it's they do a lot of stringing us along with, it's the speeder bike gang, but it's not the speeder bike gang.
Right.
But now it's the Hutts. But now it's the different factions around town. Oh no, but now it's the Syndicate.
Right.
And I get where they were going with it. I just feel like they didn't give us anything to get behind. There was no reason for us to cheer Boba Fett on through the show because he didn't have anything that he was doing.
Right. There were a lot of cooking droids in the kitchen, basically, is what you're saying.
A lot of four-armed cooking droids.
A lot of four-armed, a lot of swinging knives. But again, I think that's what happens when you try to cram too much. It's like they tried to cram 2 seasons into one, and I don't know. Yeah, there's some things I definitely would have done differently, but in the end, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. There was a lot of fun action.
Well,
getting to see Grogu and Yoda was worth everything that I didn't care for. that episode and the episode of The Mandalorian that kind of continues. And this is let's not, we don't have to mince Kawaki and Monkey Lizard, bits here. This is a spin-off to Mandalorian.
Yeah. It's spin-off or prologue, epilogue, however you want to work it. It fits in to that story. This is not a standalone thing. This lives in that world now, where it's all going to tie together. And to that point, I'd almost love to see Cobb Vanth go on into what was supposed to be Gina Carano's pilot, which is Rangers of the New Republic. It'd be cool to see him take on a larger role, but it'd also be cool to see him stay on Tatooine and do whatever is going to happen on Tatooine going forward. But we talked about it before, and I really feel if you're going to place this in any of the Star Wars categories of how it feels, it really falls squarely in the Solo category. It's Disney putting forward a movie or a show talking about, like we call them, the legacy characters, and there is that real give and take of what is fan service, what's expected, what do you have to show us, what are we expecting, and what can you show us that's new. I wish they did a lot of stuff in here that's new. They gave us the Rancor, they gave us Boba Fett doing some cool stuff. We have Fennec Shand, but it really falls really squarely into that realm of, you're taking fans who have been fans of Boba Fett for 20 years based on him saying one line, 2 if you want to count his screaming into the Sarlacc. People have built Boba Fett up to be something great in their mind.
Right.
And not giving them the leeway to be like, this is who Boba Fett is. Like we didn't give them with Luke. Like we didn't, we have to give the storytellers the leeway to do what they do. It was still, it was a good show. Was it what Boba Fett fans wanted? Absolutely not.
It was.
I don't think it was.
I think
it's not the Batman that we deserved. It's not the Batman we wanted.
It's not the Boba we wanted. It's the Boba. Yeah. I disagree. I think that it did try to, I think you're half right there, and I think they were half right. I think there were, like we said, there were too many cooking droids in the kitchen. They were half trying to service the fandom and the history and the legacy of Boba Fett, and they were also trying to do new things and let Robert Rodriguez go. I would have rather, Favreau probably should have come in and done the fan service season, and then the next season could have been the flashback to the Tuskens. Yeah. And then had a whole Tusken thing that just felt truncated. It all just felt like they had all these directions they could have gone. They never really chose a direction. Yeah. I would like to see if this gets a second season, I would like, hopefully now that they've served the fandom, now Boba Fett and Fennec Shand could go have adventures off Tatooine. Right. And, leave their crew there. I definitely think Boba Fett needs to leave Tatooine as a show. I think it's also a perfect way to kind of like phase from talking about Boba Fett into obviously the next thing coming up.
Which is another show on Tatooine.
That'll start on Tatooine, but I think it's a good time to talk about Obi-Wan. They're talking about Cassian Andor's coming up. I've got to believe Obi-Wan is right around the corner as well.
Well, they announced it. It's going to be May 25th.
So exactly like 40 years to 45 years to the day. Yeah. That we first see Obi-Wan in 1977. They're going to have Obi-Wan premiere on Disney Plus May 25th. So, and that's right around the corner. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's worth talking about, like, the sort of what did they learn from Book of Boba Fett that they can hopefully avoid or do better with Obi-Wan. And I think it's gonna have a lot of the same challenges. Yeah. Is for me,
so many of the same challenges.
For me, the best movie, like you're saying, Boba Fett follows squarely in the Solo movie. Yeah. I feel like Rogue One, for me, did the best touching on legacy characters because it got to be its own encapsulated story. Of course, they had to kill off all the characters, which I feel like you're gonna kind of have to do in the Obi-Wan show. Yeah. right? So
Yeah,
I think
because anything that happens in Obi-Wan has to terminate at episode 4.
they have to go their separate ways.
Yeah,
By the time we get to episode 4, by the time Rebels does it, Filoni's familiar with this handoff. Clone Wars does the handoff. Rebels does the handoff right up to Rogue One.
Yeah.
Resistance does a handoff of sorts, kind of coming from the, sort of setting up Force Awakens and stuff like that. I'm talking about the Resistance cartoon series, yeah.
Which is good. You should watch it.
Yeah, definitely. I think Rebels right now, if with Ahsoka coming up and Obi-Wan and everything, Rebels definitely the one to watch as far as like preparatory material.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Obi-Wan has a lot of the same challenges as Boba Fett, where we know we're gonna get a rematch. They've been hyping it, I think overhyping it. We know we're gonna get a rematch between Vader and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
We know we're going to probably see a young, like 10-year-old Luke on Tatooine. And hopefully, we will be seeing Obi-Wan start on Tatooine and visit Mos Eisley in the cantina to set up why he knows that's where you find the best star pilots, even though it's a wretched hive of scum and villainy. But hopefully, one of the things they learned from Boba Fett is let's get off the desert planet.
Yeah.
Let's see some of the color and the richness and the variety that Star Wars has to offer as far as location.
Which I think is something that we learned in Book of Boba Fett, because honestly, like, Star Wars is its best when we travel the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
When we had the Mandalorian episode where we went to the Halo ring, that was cool. You gave us something different.
Some cooler themes and tones.
I love Tatooine, but Star Wars is about the galaxy at large, not just about Tatooine. And I do hope we get that in Obi-Wan. I also hope we get a lot of Tatooine in Obi-Wan, because I want to see Watto.
Right.
I want to see.
That would be interesting.
Obi-Wan's going back to Mos Eisley. He's gonna deal with the characters there. It'd be interesting, to see him have his interactions with the Tuskens, because obviously he's had interactions. He knows how to deal with them. It'd be interesting to see, now that we've set up that Jawas are a little bit more intelligent and less of these little scurrying pack rats, it'd be interesting to see him deal with some Jawas.
With Jawas, with Tusken Raiders.
But at the same time, like, I want to see him get off planet. I want to see him deal with the Empire. I want to see him deal, does he meet back up with Ahsoka at some point?
Right. Well, and we talk a lot about Dave Filoni really understanding what Lucas is doing with Star Wars, and I think one of the things Boba Fett misses is that Tatooine is Modesto, California, which George Lucas, if you know anything about him, he wanted to get the hell out of there. You don't stay in Modesto. You don't stay in the Dust Bowl.
Yeah, if there's a brightest point to the galaxy, this is the farthest point.
It's the place farthest from. So yeah, it's a good starting point. It was a good starting point for Star Wars. It's definitely one of Star Wars' most tired tropes, and I definitely think it's kind of what blanded some of the parts of Boba Fett that should have been more exciting. Is it would have been cool to see.
Give us the Pikes up in a spaceship, and Boba Fett has to go up and meet them in space, or
something. Give us some different color. I mean, I think that was one of the rules that Lucas had, and when he was coming up with what is Star Wars, is multiple locations. Like when they shot a Star Wars movie, it was on at least like 2 or 3 different continents. Yeah, because he wanted it to look. One of the biggest things of getting the feel of Star Wars is making you feel like it's an alien place, and it's somewhere else, and it's somewhere magical, like giant redwood trees, or all desert planet, or an all water planet, or so. I think that that's something Obi-Wan hopefully will get. Again, I can only hope a new hope. An old hope. The constant hope with Star Wars is that they're able to do the Obi-Wan Vader rematch in a surprising way. Yeah. That reveals new information. I know we're gonna get Liam Neeson is gonna come back.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
For this. Yeah, I heard a rumor. One of the articles I was going down some rabbit hole
Well, because if you read the novelization,
Hujib hole.
yeah, because if you read the novelization, Qui-Gon comes back and has lengthy conversations with Yoda about how to join the Force and become a Force ghost. So,
I think that needs to.
So are we going to see Yoda here?
When we saw that a little bit in the Clone Wars, in the wrapping up of the Clone Wars TV show, Liam Neeson did come back to reprise his voice role of sort of teaching Yoda about the living Force and about how to live on, the big Jedi secret, from Episode 4. So I think that's another expected checkbox. Is we have to see Obi-Wan training, from leaving Episode 3 on. He has to be in the middle of his training with Qui-Gon's ghost, apparently, to learn to become one with the Force, which is his big move in Episode 4. To teach Luke
become
about
more powerful
the Force
than
Vader can possibly imagine.
So, I hadn't heard about Liam Neeson. I did read the other day that apparently we're supposed to get Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
We're gonna get Organa.
Well, because again, Princess Leia says, you served my father in the Clone Wars. Again, using that little bit, stretching it a little bit. Obi-Wan didn't really serve Jimmy Smits at all. I mean, maybe a couple episodes of Clone Wars they talk to each other. He doesn't really serve him. But you could kind of make the stretch that. That could be what Bail Organa, Jimmy Smits, tells Princess Leia.
It's a good certain point of view.
It's a good the classic Star Wars retconning certain point of view kind of thing. So I think we have to see Jimmy Smits. We have to see Liam Neeson. I'm hoping too. Heard rumors that Ahmed Best will reprise his role as Jar Jar Binks, and that they're I'm fingers crossed. I'm a Jar Jar apologist. So I definitely think wrapping up, I think it's worthy, and I think the prequels have aged a little bit better now over time, and people are a little softer on them. I think it's time. We need to wrap up Jar Jar's story. We need a Jar Jar redemption. I'd love to see that. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot of boxes to check. But I think in between those boxes, I hope that they find ways to surprise us with Obi-Wan. I know we're going long on this, but we wanted to wrap in the Obi-Wan announcement with End of Boba Fett. We'll be talking End of Peacemaker, and of course the Multiverse of Madness trailer. The DCEU trailer. So we got a bunch coming up here. We're gonna probably start doing like 2 a week here the next couple weeks because we're going into the summer, into movie season, series season. Man, there's a lot coming. There's a lot coming.
So hang in, hang out, like, share, subscribe. Make sure to follow along. We hope we're talking about stuff that you're excited about. We're excited about it. Talk to you next time.